Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to iAllegedly. We're going to do a small business stimulus update for everybody. And before I get into it, please like, share, subscribe, share this with all your friends, colleagues, everybody. And just to bring everybody up to date, it's mid-August, and the Congress and the senators have all gone on vacation. You and I are worried about running our businesses, and these guys are on vacation. So let's get into it. Nancy Pelosi said that the stimulus talks are complicated and they're in complete disarray because of the Republicans. Okay? Mitch McConnell has accused the Democrats of sabotaging the talks. Now, guys, I don't care what side you're on. We're going to get into that again. And who cares what side you're on? All we care about is one thing, and that's getting us some help and benefiting small business. Now, I don't care what your favorite sports team is. I don't care if you like football, basketball, hockey, baseball, whatever, okay? I don't care who your favorite NASCAR driver is, who your favorite golfer is. I don't care what your religious preference is. I don't care what your favorite music is or what kind of food you like. And it just makes no difference. I don't care where you were born. But every single one of us have one thing in common on this channel, and that is that we're all small business owners, okay? So we're united in working together and getting this thing solved and moving forward and having people buy our services and buy our products so that we can pay our bills, pay our rent, pay our electric bill, maybe have a little bit left over and eat and do some fun stuff. That's pretty much it, okay? So we're all on the same team, okay? So the Democrats have a $3 trillion plan out there. The Republicans have $1 trillion, and the Republicans have talked about bringing it up to $2 trillion, which is just preposterous, guys. It's so much money, and it's in complete disarray on both sides, okay? But what got floated out there right now is that, President Trump talked about a $3,400 stimulus checks for families. And what that basically is a $1,200 stimulus check, and for each parent, okay, of the house. And if you had 2 kids, you'd get $1,000 per kid. Now, there is some good news right now, and that is for the people that got a stimulus check and you had a dependent child that was under 17, if you did not check the box and you missed the deadline to get the $500 stimulus, the IRS originally said it was too late, tough, you are not going to get it. They have loosened that rule, and as late as this weekend, you can get that $500. So talk to your tax preparer. Do not listen to some guy on the internet. Talk to them about getting the $500 if you did not get it already, okay? So again, PPP program is dead right now. It stopped funding on August 8th, and they were talking about that they need more money from Congress and from the senators to fund PPP. Now, the problem with that is that even if they get more money, this is something that I found that's a really disturbing statistic, and that is that the National Federation for Independent Business said that 23% of all business owners said that they would have to shut down under the current economic conditions over the next 6 months if they stayed the same, okay? So, in my opinion, guys, these could be the good times. This could be the best that business could be right now, which is shocking to think about. Now, another stat that they came up with is another 22% of the business owners said that they wouldn't be able to operate beyond 7 to 12 months if the current conditions stayed in place. So a lot of people are having trouble. Guys, when you add 23 and 22%, that's 45% of the businesses don't think that they can make it a year right now. Okay, so this is devastating right now. The Democrats have talked about lowering their plan to $2 trillion. They have a lot of things in there that, are questionable and some people don't like. They're talking about, solar power, funding for cannabis. They're talking about funding for some of the cities and the municipalities, and the Republicans are against that. And again, who cares, okay? The $600 CARES Act for the unemployment has been dropped. President Trump came up with the $400 provision if 25% of it was paid by California, and California has already said that they will not pay that. So there's a huge problem there, that there are people that are going to be dropped off to the minimum of the self-employed unemployment because of the pandemic. And that will be as low as $167 a week, people. Now, again, I've talked about this before. Try living on $167, okay? There are women that spend more to get their hair and nails done. Now, maybe not in a pandemic, but you know what I mean. So it's just not a lot of money. Now, it's possible that they could make a deal without being in session, but here are the key dates that we need to remember. September 8th, the Senate returns. September 14th, the House of Representatives come back. Guys, that's a month from now. The fiscal year for the federal government is the end of September. So they have to make a deal between now and the end of September. But can you hang on that long? Can you wait 2 months for a stimulus check? Can you wait 2 months for a loan? That's what people are looking at right now, and that's what you need to get yourself thinking about. You know, there will be talks with congressmen and senators during this time, and they will have caucuses and meetings during this time via phone conference. I've read about certain things that are going to happen. In fact, one thing that I signed up for is, talked about my local representative here. I have a meeting on Friday with my local representative. Now, I don't know if I get to see her directly. I don't know if I get to go to the office. I don't know if it's teleconference, telephone, whatever, but I want to discuss EIDL, small business, Senate Bill 4227, and, you know, this is a congresswoman who's not in the Senate, but I'm going to discuss with her how we need help as quickly as possible and to see what I can do for all of us, okay? So please, write your congressmen, write your senators about Senate Bill 4227. I'll get into that in a few minutes, okay? Now, again, what we have out there right now is you can still apply for an EIDL loan as I talk to you right now. You will not get the advance. The advance is done right now. And you can go out and you can get, you know, it's a decent loan program. You've got 30-year loan program at 3.75% for a business and 2.75% for a nonprofit. Seriously, if it was me, I would not file. I would not try to get that loan right now. I would wait to see what happens. But the problem is you've got to get through these next 6 weeks to figure out what's going to happen. The problem with getting that loan is something that has not been advertised that I found out during this time, is that if you take the loan, you have an obligation to provide the SBA with records on how the money was spent up until 90 days after the loan was paid off. So you have to maintain your records all through the life of the loan. Now, if you take a 30-year term to pay that off, you have to maintain those records for 30 years. And then you owe them to the SBA, within 90 days of the loan. And I mean, guys, who wants that? Plus, you have to keep record retention and casualty insurance on this information. So I don't know about you, but I've had insurance like that before for certain key documents and leads and things like that for my business, and it's not the cheapest thing to get. So the EIDL also requires that you have hazard insurance based on 80% of the insurable assets of the company. So a lot of people don't know that, and you must have the coverage within 12 months of obtaining the loan, because that's when you have to start making payments on it. The other thing is the Fed's got a Main Street Lending Program. MSLP is what the acronym is, and I hate acronyms, by the way, but their acronym is MSLP. You can borrow $250,000. Now, the definition of a small business in this world is a business basically that is under $7.5 million in sales and under 200 employees. Now, guys, I talked to a lot of people during this time, and if you have a business that's got 200 employees, that's a huge company. Okay, if you've got 20 employees, I think that's a large company, but they define it as somebody that does over $7.5 million. If you do a couple $1 million in sales, that's a decent sized company. There's also the Community Development Financial Institution loans that you can get. Now, one thing that I will leave you information about this, it's for helping low income and communities that they determined need help and that are in lower economic areas. And in this time, I think it's pretty much everybody's eligible for this. So I'll leave a link in the description for you to get that. Now, what does all this mean? In realistic terms, it means one thing. It means the earliest that both sides could really come together is mid-September. Before we would see a stimulus check, most likely you're talking mid to late September, okay? If the EIDL funding can get added to this, the closest opportunity that we have is Senate Bill 4227. This is John Cornyn's bill that talks about adding $100 billion to the EIDL program for lending, another $80 billion for the advances. Now, the $80 billion, again, this would get changed to where it would prohibit the SBA from limiting the loan amount at $150,000. Now, again, there are people out there that think about how messed up this is, and that is, you're a small business that can't go to Main Street lending. You don't need $250,000. And I got to be honest with you, they don't want to lend somebody $250,000. They want to lend them $5 million. So you can't get an EIDL loan because it's been capped at $150,000. So you guys are kind of in limbo. There are companies out there that are destroyed as a result of this. So think of that. That's where this is at. It's really a big limbo. And I know as the one-man band and the one-woman show, you guys, it's very difficult to relate to all this stuff, but we have got to pull together and find out a way and figure out a way to get these funds that we all need. So they want to change the program so that there's no limit on the advances. And again, if you got the advance and they gave you $1,000, if you got the loan or not, you should have gotten the $10,000 advance. Now, if someone gives you the remaining grant balance and you get that, you can use it towards your loan, you can use it towards business expenses. And again, talk to your accountant, find out what you can spend the money on, because there's differing things. Oh, you can spend it on this, you can't spend it on that. Just what I was told and what has been projected out there is 6 months operating capital for your business. Now, if you guys get $1, a nickel, pennies, whatever, and you borrow the money, just, man, sit back, take a deep breath, okay? The people that reach out, that want help, okay? People buying big equipment. I need a backhoe. Now, there's people out there going, what the heck's a backhoe? Which, you know, I'm a Southern California guy. I've seen them on TV, and I've driven by farms and seen backhoes, been construction sites. People that are buying things like backhoes. I don't care what you're buying, if it's equipment or anything, other than merchandise from a store, okay? If it's any large purchase, ask for more. You know, my team wants to go in a different direction, but I want to go with you, and I control the checkbook. So what I'd like to do is find out if I can get X, Y, and Z thrown in. The worst thing that they say is no. Ask for more, okay? Don't be deceptive. Use negotiation 101 and just ask for more from people, okay? You guys, we're in a state right now of limbo. You've got to try to figure out, you know, how your company can hang on during this time, and it's a tough time right now. But think about this. One of my email programs that I use is Constant Contact, okay? You know, I've got a few of them. So, but I like Constant Contact for one thing, and I spoke to somebody this week because I had an issue and I had to have them do something with an email and teach me something, and it was problem solved. But talking to this person, like I do with everybody, is asking them questions. Where are you working from? Are you guys back in the office yet? You know, the normal things. He's back at home. Now, here's what Constant Contact told me. They're planning on working from home until June of 2021, okay? Now, folks, think about that. Are you prepared to work another 10 months from the way things are right now? It may be that way. So you got to work on this, okay? Work your plan. You know, we may look back and say, August 2020, wow, those were good times for business. As crazy as that sounds coming out of my mouth, you have to prepare yourself, okay? Be grateful for your clients that you have right now. Be kind to one another, and just work on what you have. Work on the existing database that you have and the existing people that have purchased things from you in the past, and reach out to them. Reach out to their key employees. Remember, people stay in same industries. Oh, Ted was such a great guy. He worked at this company. Now he's over at X. Well, let Ted know that you're open and you're ready to serve him, okay? I'm available. Reach out for questions. I will update you if anything real comes out and they sign anything or they give us any good news and what happens with my local congresswoman. I will let you know with that, and I will keep you guys updated shortly, okay? Good luck to everybody. Do not give up, and I will talk to you soon.